Yo and hello everybody, my name is Mike,
And I'm Julie.
and we are going to take you guys on a little journey. We're going to start a channel here to talk about what we're doing as a family in doing what? What are we doing?
We're buying a ranch.
We're buying a ranch. And for us, the ranch is going to be kind of a second property for us, a recreational property. And we do live in Texas, so the word ranch here is used for a lot of things, but it's not that big, is it?
No, about 41 acres.
41 acres, and it's got a house on it. And so what we thought we would do is just chronicle this entire journey of from literally start to maybe not to finish, but start through this whole process, because it's a life that neither one of us have lived on a full-time basis before. What appeals to you, Julie, about having a place like this?
Well, I just love the thought of having open country space. I love the thought of being able to have a pond where you can go fishing, where you don't hear the noise of the city, a place where you can get away, that's your own, that you don't have to ask other people, hey, can we come stay at your place? But just a place where is our own, and a place where we can also share it with others so that others can go and spend time there. And then lastly, just a legacy for our kids and our grandkids so that they can go and spend time there and we can really bond as a family.
Yeah, so what we plan on doing on this channel is just taking lots of video at the ranch, doing certain things, all the different projects, all the different acquisitions. I mean, we're literally starting with a clean slate. There is nothing in the house. It's not furnished at all. We don't have any tools or toys or anything. So as we add things, and we're going to do this over time, we're going to try to be as frugal is maybe not the right word, but certainly fiscally responsible as we can, because this isn't a cheap endeavor, and we want to be as transparent as we can on this channel. And as we do videos and talking about things and what they cost and all that, just so if you're thinking about doing it, you can see this series of videos and kind of know what you're getting into. So for us, it's been a dream of ours for the better part of a decade to do this. We have a bunch of friends that have places of their own, and we enjoy those thoroughly. And we hope that this is an opportunity for us to do it more often, more frequent. And we're getting to a point, I mean, I'm 46, and well, we're not going to talk about how old Julie is, but we're getting to a point where our kids are older, they're out of the house, so to speak, they're in college, and we're thinking about, okay, we want to have a place for our grandkids to go and where to spend Christmases, and like you said, Julie, all the legacy stuff. So, hopefully you'll enjoy coming along the journey with us. We will try to post as frequently as we can. So there you go. We look forward to seeing you guys on the channel. Thanks for stopping by. I got a quick preview of what the house looks like at the ranch and all that coming up right now. Hang on. All right, so here we are at the front of the house. It's on the property, and again, it was built in 1945. It's on a pier and beam, so it definitely needs some work and some love, but certainly doable for us for now. We will kind of prioritize things and kind of figure stuff out. Our property goes really as far as you can see that way. That's to the south. And then over this way, we've got chicken coop right there. We've got some other outbuildings towards the back. We're not going to go inside the property right now because our realtor's not with us and we don't own it just yet. So it's not ours to go walking around, but it's a great park up that way to the north of us. That just means no one's going to ever build there. So it's a very secluded place, really beautiful out here. Lots of mature trees and great areas. And at some point when we're back in here, we will take you guys on a tour throughout the property. But for now, this is all you get to see, the front part, which is where the house is. So I'll talk to you soon. So another thing we thought we'd share with you is how we kind of landed on the place that we chose. And Julie, you want to kind of tell them our
Well, there were a bunch of things that as we started talking about looking at property, the things that we wanted. We wanted a place that had a little bit of elevation. We wanted a place that had some trees, but not so many trees that you couldn't navigate around, but not flat pasture land either, because you can't, it takes a long time to grow trees. You can always tear down a tree, but you can't grow a tree. The land was really important to us, more so than the house or anything on it.
Because we can always build a house.
Right, you can always build a house, but you can't build land. And we wanted something that had a pond. We wanted something that had a natural berm so that we could do some shooting. And we also wanted a place that had a temporary shelter for us, a house. Not anything that we were going to be scared to sleep in, but also it didn't have to be too fancy at the time because we were on a budget. And since this is something that we're doing the very first time, we didn't want to invest a ton of money in case this doesn't work out for us. And so those were kind of some of the things that we were looking for. And we honestly looked at dozens and dozens of properties over the course of probably the past 7 years. And we found this one just here recently, and it felt right, and everything about it fit all the criteria. Not necessarily all the criteria, but almost all of the criteria that we were looking for.
Yeah, so if you're thinking about a place, you need to have kind of a checklist of what you want out of it, and think about what you want to do there and what it looks like for you and your family. Just make sure you don't settle. Don't just buy something to buy something. And we're definitely examples of not settling.
Yeah, there were lots of places that we looked at, and we would get back in the car without the realtor and be like, well, do you think we could make it work? And I felt like many of those places were like a square peg going into a round hole. There were too many things about them that didn't fit that checklist. And your checklist is going to look different than our checklist. You may want a big pasture. You may want a big open field. You may want to be able to lease it out so that people can grow crops on it. You may want a super fancy house, or you may not even want a house at all. But it's important to go through that checklist so that as you go and you visit property, and when you talk to real estate agents who help you find those properties, they can narrow the search down for you. For us, we actually had to go out and start looking at some properties to help us get that checklist.
Yeah, because we go to a place and it'd be like, oh, we like that about this place, but everything else might be not a good fit. And then you'd look at another place and, oh man, that's cool about that. So if we could pair up what we saw in place number 1 and place number 2 and find the place that has all of those things. And again, you're highly likely not going to find the perfect place that fits within a reasonable budget, most likely. But
if you can find most of those things that are on your checklist.
Yeah.
That's it.
So cool.